Hey guys, this is Meg, and you're watching Welcome to the Wild. I just wanted to let you know, yes, I still have a channel documenting all of my betas. But the interesting thing is, I actually haven't had a beta in 4 years. But I just recently moved back to a country that I lived in for a very long time, and I decided, well, I didn't really decide. To be honest, Jesus brought me this fish. I actually have four betas, and the history of how I got into aquascaping and betas is really because of my French bulldog who passed away. That was an amazing encounter because I cried for 3 days straight. But in the middle of the night, I felt God come and pull out the sadness. And it took a long time to not miss my dog. But then I got into the amazing world of aquascaping. And I'm sorry, I'm using a cell phone, so I'm trying my best to show you guys this tank. And this is Arsenal, by the way. And what's really amazing is I live in a really small city in the countryside. The pet store, actually no, there's only one in the little city that I live in. And man, I can't believe the condition of the store. And when I mean condition, I mean the animals. You saw my post about betas. Well, it's at that same shop, but it was the only place where you can get Anubias. There's a few other plants, but they have to have substrate. But as you can see, I don't use substrate. I use natural looking gravel. But there are many, many kinds of Anubias, but this is the only one they have. So the water lettuce, which you're probably wondering about, it was given to me by the lady who sold me the plants. I decided to use houseplants in order to have more ability to keep the water clean. And here's the most amazing thing. If you guys have horrible water, Taiwan's water is highly acidic and contains a large quantity of calcium. Use bottled water. I kid you not. I use bottled water. This tank is exactly 1 month old. I haven't had to do any gravel vacuuming. The only thing I do is I take some of the water that has tannins from the driftwood and I rinse out the filter sponges and the intake sponge. That's it. What I do every morning is I wash my hands with water and I stick my hand in the water. If it feels acidic, I'll take one water bottle, which actually looks like this. This is the bottle I use. I have many, but I have one specifically for tanks. And I fill it up with the tank water, I dump it out, and then I add more bottled water. I don't need to use dechlorinator. I don't have to use AquaClear if you have an algae bloom or anything like that. And basically, I created an ecosystem. If roots break off and decay, or a leaf, or the fish poo, it pretty much breaks down, and then the plants take care of it. Also, another thing which keeps my tank clean is particularly when I feed Archangel is his name. I call him Archangel because I rescued him from a night market. Ironically, he's the healthiest fish I've ever seen or ever had. I very rarely have betas that look healthy. I've had some, but not many. This guy is incredibly healthy. I mean, Look at those colors and those fins. He's a koi, but I think he's a half moon beta. But he is so healthy. And it's ironic, I gave him bloodworms. I don't think he's used to eating them because he didn't even try. But he absolutely loves pellets and flakes. So what I do is I pre-soak his pellets and I smash them up against the rim of the glass, and then I let them sink. I do it one at a time, and the flakes are very tiny, so I push them all down into the water so he doesn't have to gulp for air, because that's what causes swim bladder. So I do this with all of my fish. I have 2 males and 2 females, but this is the first video of Welcome to the Wild since I've moved to a little city 9 months ago. And it's interesting because I used to live in the big city. I could find any fish related product you could think of. I could find frogbit, salvinia, various kinds of anubias, Java fern, you know. Oh, and by the way, I never knew this, but yesterday I was purchasing some more anubias, and I have a tendency of smelling the plants because I just want to make sure they smell like plant. I'm not sure why I've done this, but I've always done this. And the thing is, although they looked completely healthy, I kid you not, they smelled like fish. And I washed them, but they still smelled like fish. So I Googled, and it said that when an anubias plant, or any plant, aquarium plant for that matter, is ready to rot, it will begin to smell like fish. And out of concern for my fish's health, I decided not to put the plants in. Honestly, I just threw them away. So I don't know how I'm going to add more plants, but thankfully there was enough healthy anubias to fill all 4 tanks. Well, except for one. All she has is a big piece of water lettuce. Yeah, so guys, I hope you liked the first video of the year. Thank you for watching. But also, I wanted to tell you one thing. The backing of my tank is waterproof, and it's a type of pressed material they use in Taiwan to make cards for each other. I took it, I measured it according to the tank size, and I slid it underneath the tank. It's pretty cool, and it's waterproof, so I like it because not only is it waterproof, but it looks really good. And I think it brings out Archangel's colors even more. He always flares at himself. He gets a lot of exercise, but he's an excellent swimmer. And thank you for being patient. I was a little nervous because I haven't made videos for a while, but I'm gonna come in a little closer so you can see some of the plants I use. As you can see, I took the anubias pots and put them in. Depending on the roots, depends on how you cut the pot. I have stem plants that have little tiny roots, but I also have house plants that have thick roots, like this guy down here. So the plant on the left that looks red and green, I actually cut an actual hole in the bottom so the stem could go through. As I said, it depends on what you have available. But this is lucky bamboo, this leafy green one here. This stuff's great. If you have long ones, you can actually plant it in sand and it will still grow. Now, this red plant, or this green plant with the red flower, I am not exactly sure what it is. And I truly don't know the name of this red plant over here. But it all seems to thrive in my tank. And as you can see, I used what's the word in English? Clothespins to clip the little buckets to the back of the rim. Sorry, sometimes I think in Chinese because I've been living here so long. Yeah, so guys, I hope this really encourages you that a simple tank can be a great tank. And I wasn't kidding when I said that Jesus got me into Bettas. And he did heal me from the loss of my French bulldog, Lucky. He lived with me for 9 years. And had he not passed away, I maybe never would have got into this beautiful art of aquascaping. I cannot say that I'm great at aquascaping, but what I can say is I try to provide a wonderful environment for all of my fish. I'm not actually comfortable with aquarium soil, so if I ever can find good plants, which sadly is 30 minutes from where I live, there are other types of plants that I would put down on these river rocks. I would put in Java fern because as you can see there's like a center that needs some filling in. Any other kinds of Anubias, any plant really that can be shoved into a crevice, then yeah, I would definitely use it. But for those of you who are beginners and you're wondering, why are my plants dying? Why are my fish dying? And your bettas aren't even living for 6 months, I really want to encourage you to try bottled water. Do bottled water. All you need is 2 big containers. I carry them by hand. And as I said, take some alcohol, spray down your tank. It dries, it evaporates so it doesn't hurt the fish. Lay your gravel down. Do the scape you want to do with all your plants. Now with Anubias, you want to make sure with your Anubias and plants that feed off the water column, make sure you wet them down so they don't get dried out. But you set up everything and you just fill it with bottled water. For a 5-gallon, it takes 2 big bottles to fill. But I promise you'll never have to really change the tank water, even 50% not. Maybe 10% at most. So I really don't spend much money actually doing this system. I have a small bottle of fertilizer and a small bottle of fish vitamins. And as I said in the beginning, I dose the tank with 2 capfuls, and that's pretty much it. 2 capfuls of vitamins, 2 capfuls of fertilizer, and just cleaning the intake sponge and the filter sponge with its own water from the tank. I have a small bucket and I just take a cup and put some in. But everything's always clean when I use it, and I wash it with water because soap has residue. But I haven't seen any problems. No plants dying, no fish dying. Yeah, I mean, this guy eats like a horse. And that's another thing. I usually do feed my bettas every day, but just a little bit. And I fast them on Sunday. Yeah. Sometimes I feed them every other day. It just depends. But I really enjoy this hobby, even though I don't have much to work with. I hope this video blesses you. Take care.